It was unreal.
Mike Stewart is a true perfectionist. I guarantee he did something out there that he wasn't happy with himself, and always critical of himself. Mike Stewart's worst critic is himself.
Look at this, out the back, live action, nice deep barrel. Eder Luciano coming off a high from his last heat, round number 2. Big aerial assaults. Now he's going to the tube riding tactics. Great wave, long barrel for Eder Luciano, the Brazilian. Who do we got out there?
All right, out in the water, we are going to see in this heat Amaury Laverhne in red, the defending world champ from Reunion Island. He is joined by Gastao and Entrudo in white from Portugal. Eder Luciano, who was up and riding on that last wave. And here we have Trevor Kam in the black jersey from Hawaii.
Trevor Kam working his way up the ranks. And, you know, he's been putting together a nice performance during this event. And he comes to us from the trials, ended up 7th place in the trials. Trevor Kam, the Hawaiian, he's out. I mean, he's out for the hunt. He wants to be a part of what has been a phenomenal year on the Grand Slam Series, the IBA World Tour Grand Slam Series. So let's take another look at Eder Luciano's long barrel. Unbelievable. Look at this.
Yes, Eder Luciano scoring a 5.65 on this wave, driving through the barrel. There you can see slight adjustments to his trim line, lifting up on the outside rail, making sure that inside rail is stuck into the face of the wave so he doesn't slide out. Comes out of the barrel. You can see him slide up a little bit on his board, kick his legs up, cross, throw into the spin. Small little things, Manny. And he just works it on the inside. Some small wave combination riding on the inside to maximize his score. 5.65 for his efforts.
I'm digging those white fins. Not a lot of riders actually ride white fins, and those white fins are pretty fashionable. So I'm going to click a check mark in fashion for this guy, Eder Luciano.
Yes, Eder Luciano rocking the white Capoloas, a Brazilian swim fin make. Eder comes into this event 19th on the World Tour. So he's looking for a solid result here so he can try and improve his position, make that top 16, and make the cut for next year's tour.
He had a very astounding performance in the Sintra Pro in Portugal. So that'll definitely help his efforts to try to get up into that top 16.
Yes, that event, Sintra, I was not there for it, but my co-host here, Manny Vargas, was. Some very challenging conditions in Portugal.
Yes, and to be a world champ, we said it throughout the entire live broadcast in Portugal, is not only do you have to perform in the large waves where there is some serious consequence, but also in the small stuff. That's where you got to pull out all the stops. This guy right here, Trevor Kam, in the black jersey, he is one of those guys. I've seen him charge. I've seen him put together a nice contest push.
Yes, Trevor Kam making it in as a trialist. He finished 4th on the U.S. National Tour this year, and he's trying to work his way into the international competitions. Not a bad showing so far here in Puerto Rico.
Where's he sitting exactly on the leaderboard round through the first 2 rounds? I think he is actually doing not so well. He's got 4th in both of his first and second rounds, but you know what? He's going to come out here and just put it on the line. He's got nothing to lose. He's not going to be one of those advancing on to the next round, round 4, where they go man on man.
Yes, unfortunately, Trevor Kam coming into the 3rd and final round of the leaderboard segment in 29th with a 4th place in round 1, a 4th place in round 2 for a total of 2 points. And but wow, look at that, Manny. Lines just rolling in. Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
It did drop a little bit from yesterday, but the conditions are still good. The morning sickness, where it's a little bumpy, a little windy, is starting to calm down as the sun starts coming up and over the mountain here in Isabela. Round number 7, round number 3, heat number 7, currently out in the water. And listen, we do have a survey on IBAWorldTour.com. This is where the viewers, the world bodyboarders, you watching live, have a chance to voice your opinion. So check it out. Participate, IBAWorldTour.com/survey, and tell us what you're thinking.
Yes, and while you're online, after you fill out the survey, be sure to go to youtube.com/IBA World Tour. There you can catch all the latest highlight clips, as well as heats on demand from IBA.
Nice. Look at this. Sorry to interrupt, but there is sets coming in out the back, and not really. There is a little right-hander on it, but is further down the beach. These guys had the duck under, one of the bigger sets of the heat. Yes, so to reiterate.
Yes, to reiterate, youtube.com/IBA World Tour.
Subscribe.
Yes, definitely subscribe. You can view all of the highlights. Subscribe. Yes, you can.
Subscribe.
Manny, you're killing me.
All right.
Yes, be sure to subscribe. You can check out all the highlights packages. You can check out heats on demand from all of the competitions up to this point. And there's no shortage of information and viewing that you can get on our YouTube channel.
That's right. And if you are a subscriber, you will be notified via email once a new piece of video has been uploaded to youtube.com/IBA World Tour. Yes. Subscribe. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. As Liam hands over some more stats, we have Shaggy downstairs with, stand by. We got Gastao Entrudo, the Portuguese, slides under the pocket, and that's all she wrote for Gastao Entrudo, the Portuguese, on his first wave. So wait a second. Shaggy is downstairs, but we're going to hold off because we do have live action coming up, possibly. And Gastao making his way back out. Looks like there could be some action out the back, so Stewart and Shaggy standing by for the interview. We want to make sure we don't miss any of the action. So I guess this could be it, Shaggy, if you're downstairs. With Mike Stewart. Let's do this. All right, Mike Stewart and Shaggy downstairs. Shaggy, let's do this, brother.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Mike Stewart, the winner of his last heat. A real pressure cooker win. You needed that win, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of on the fence, been on the fence, so super stoked I got the result I needed.
So you're giving a little fist pump there as you're going past the science tent?
Yeah, just stoked, man. Stoked I made it.
Well, let's talk about that barrel you got, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, you got to picture the scene down here. I came down early this morning. The sun was hitting the clouds, and there's a rainbow, and the waves are just peeling. It's like hard not to be in a bad mind space, you know. So paddled out and got lucky right at the beginning. You know, wave came right to me, and I just rode it, and thing peeled pretty well. So stoked.
Well, if there's anyone who knows how to ride a barrel, it's you. So congratulations and good luck in round 4.
Okay, thank you.
Any shout-outs to Hawaii?
Yeah, how's it, Lise? And anyone watching from Hawaii, thanks for watching, and hope my kids are not watching because it's too early over there. They should be asleep. Anyway, love you guys, and thank you.
Back to you guys.
Another awesome interview from Shaggy and the winner of the last heat, Mr. Mike Stewart. So Mike Stewart clocking in some serious tube time in his heat, and probably the best rail-to-rail flowing bodyboarder on the planet, Mike Stewart. So we will see him advancing on.
Yes, and you know what, Manny? I've just been handed a sheet with the updated leaderboard. Right now, Mitch Rollins and Jeff Hubbard are the two guys at the top for this event. They both won all 3 of their leaderboard heats. There's still some potentials, though. Eder Luciano out in the water. He won his first. He won his first 2 heats. Currently in the lead, out in the water.
All right, so Eder Luciano, Trevor Kam, Gastao Entrudo, Amaury Laverhne. Amaury still waiting for his first wave. We are already almost 10 minutes into the heat, and Amaury still waiting for that first wave. He has priority, so he's going to sit and wait for that wave. It looks like he's looking at this one, going to take a look, but no taker. Well, Amaury's not taking it, but down the line, Eder Luciano taking a peek. Again, these heats are 30 minutes long. Top 2 waves will be scored, and we are winding down round number 3 in the 3-round leaderboard system. Amaury Laverhne, Gastao Entrudo, Eder Luciano, Trevor Kam. Looks like we could have some action up and riding. It is Gastao Entrudo, the Portuguese, sliding in, coming around the section, goes for a roll. Not much there for him to work with, but he's going to finish off with another maneuver on the inside. And it is black. Trevor Kam out the back, slides under this one.
Trevor Kam, big air roll spin, lands it clean, throws it into a forward spin. Still going, looking for this oncoming section, hits the roll. Wow, big outside maneuver, ties together with the spin and finishes off strong with the roll, Manny. Trevor Kam's been looking for that one for a couple of heats now.
That's right. Trevor has finally put together a nice wave right here in this heat. Unfortunately, he is at the bottom of the top. He's at the bottom of the list when it comes down to the leaderboard. We're still waiting for this result, but he did end up in 4th place in this first 2 heats in this 3-heat system.
You know what? Even though he's currently sitting in 32nd on the leaderboard, I wouldn't be too disappointed. He made it through the trials. He's sitting in the leaderboard round of the main event on a World Tour event. The future's pretty wide open for this young Hawaiian kid.
The future's so bright. All right, check this out. In the water, Eder Luciano now in 3rd place. Trevor Kam with that 7.4 ride is in 1st place. Gastao through the 2nd, Eder in 3rd, and in red, Amaury Laverhne on his 1st wave. Oh, split peak.
Split peak. Eder Luciano on the right, Amaury Laverhne
on
the
my.
left. Wow, Eder with the big maneuver. And we have our cameras focused on Eder Luciano. Eder, this is going to be a solid secondary score, if not becoming his primary score on that wave.
Woo, unreal.
Eder paddling back out after that one. Putting together a nice ride there. Eder Luciano from Brazil.
Unbelievable maneuvering right there. We're looking at another look right here at Eder Luciano's right-hand wave. As you can see, he's trimming, looking for a section to hit, and he goes straight up for a nice big backflip right there from Eder Luciano. Gets some serious projection, and his board slips out from under him, but the wax is there. He's able to maintain and bring that board back under his body, and great maneuver right there from Eder Luciano, the Brazilian. He is currently in 4th place, but still waiting for that big score, I'm sure, to drop for Eder Luciano.
Hey, Manny, while we wait for scores to drop, there we go. Eder Luciano, 8.1. That's enough to bump him up into the top spot. That will move Trevor Kam to the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Amaury Laverhne, 8.9 on that wave. Nice, solid wave exchange there between the former world champ, the current world champ, and Eder Luciano from Brazil. I'm going to step out for a little while and make room for Terry McKenna to step in. Manny, I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Everybody at home, enjoy the commentary.
All right, Jackson, we will see you in a few. Now, coming up in the hot seat, it is the tour director who's going to give us some detailed insights on the event, on the tour, and his name is Terry McKenna. So, Tezza, get situated, take your time, come in, get level, get even, and let's rock and roll.
Yeah, g'day, Manny, g'day, everybody, and, well, conditions are looking pretty good out there today, mate. We've got some beautiful waves coming through. Very happy indeed, and some real interesting stuff sort of playing out behind the scenes as well. So, yeah, I was just actually having to talk to Liam, who I guess is our, helps out with some of the statistics. And g'day everyone, Terry McKenna here and Manny Vargas. One of the interesting things in the next heat is if Uri Martinez wins that next heat, which there's a pretty strong chance he might. Yep. That is going to push Pierre-Louis Costes down into 15, and that means that Pierre and Jeff Hubbard would verse each other in one of those man-on-man heats. That's going to be interesting stuff.
Unbelievable. So everything's starting to pan out, and right now, Gastao through the Portuguese. Looked like he had a nice wave lining up for him, but that thing just closed out. He's out of there, bails. He has to get back out. Bottom of the totem pole in the priority system. So a lot of things are panning out now. We've been mentioning that if Jeff Hubbard wins this event, Ryan Hardy cannot place second. If he places second, they will go on to Fronton for the challenge that take it down to the wire. But if Hubbard wins, Hardy is not in second. We do have a new world champ, 2011.
Yeah, it's super tight. It's going to be so good to watch. And, this next round, 4 heats, these man-on-man heats are just going to be critical to the outcome of the world title. As we said, if Yuri Martinez wins his heat, that will push Pierre down into 15th on the leaderboard. That means that 2 and 15 take on each other. And, wow, what a heat that would be with Jeff Hubbard, trying to take on PLC. In conditions like this is just going to be a treat to watch.
We've been very fortunate to have unreal conditions for the entire duration of the event, from the trials all the way to the leaderboard rounds. And here is a quick look at where we are currently on the leaderboard round.
Well, there you go. Mitch Rollins is topping out, folks. He won all of his heats here, as did Jeff Hubbard, but came back down to the best single wave. That was Rollins with an incredible wave this morning, 9.25. So he sits on top of the leaderboard. Jeff in second, as we said, could take on number 15. So it's 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, and so on. So we're going to see some incredible stuff there. Look, great result for Jared Houston sitting in third. We've got Roberto Bruno, Ryan Hardy, Jake Stone, Eder Luciano, and GT, of course, rounding out our top 8 as we move on to the next run of players. And you can see on the back end there, we've got, Amaury Laverhne, Mark McCarthy, Stewart, very close. There's Pierre down there on 11, as we said, could get bumped down, and yet to serve Dave Winchester in the next heat coming up. So lots of interesting stuff happening on the leaderboard, folks, but keep your eyes peeled on this last heat, because it's the outcome of this one's going to be critical to the overall seedings.
Wow. And here's a note right up towards the bottom of the list, Damien King.
Yeah, that is a real shame there for Damien, and he said to me in an email this morning, I think this spells the end of my campaign. We don't believe that. We actually did some quick numbers today and worked out that if Damien goes on to Fronton and wins it, then he would qualify for the top 16 next year. So things aren't over for Damien King, and I'm sure that, that's going to spark him up a bit and keep him a bit happier.
And Fronton is one of those waves where Damien King can shine. We all know him as a big wave charger, and Fronton obviously delivers that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, things are lining up nicely for Fronton. And they're lining up nicely for this guy in the black singlet, Trevor Kam from Hawaii. Big speed run there, and Kam just throws the board in disgust.
Ejection button.
Yeah, he just got out of there pretty quickly. Right now, Amaury Laverhne really dominating this heat, folks. Amaury has posted an 8.9 and an 8.0. Eder Luciano, well, continues his good form in his contest. Watch this replay, though, Manny. Take us through this.
Trevor Kam looking for that section, and he has his ice sets, but you can see him bouncing towards the lip, and that is throwing him off. His timing is off, and he knows his projection was not there, and pushes the ejection button before even try to attempt to land that wave, and he gets wiped out.
Yeah, well, Trevor Kam trying to negotiate the ridges on that one, but it just had a few sort of ribs in the face and very hard to deal with. Right there is one of our guys, as we said, if Magno wins or if Yuri Martinez wins. That was the other guy I was trying to think of, Magno Oliveira. Either of those guys win this thing, it's pushing Pierre to 15, and we're heading for that Jeff Hubbard, Pierre-Louis Costes showdown. Going to be awesome.
Wow.
Along with those two guys, of course, we've got Babby Quinones. Babs, of course, the local wild card, and Dave Winchester. What a heat that is going to be.
Every single heat in these first 3 main event heats, the leaderboard round heats, are stacked. And this last heat is always going to be all eyes are going to be on this next heat. I mean, every player, Dave Winchester, Magno Oliveira, Yeray Martinez, and Bobby Quinones are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, well, there's a good little shot there of, he just ducked out of screen, actually, in the yellow singlet for Yeray Martinez. Never seen him looking fitter. I tell you what, that guy hasn't got a gram of fat on him. He's an absolute machine. And, with him and Magno and Dave Winchester in the water, I tell you what, it's going to be awesome to watch. The waves here today, folks, around about the 3 to 5 feet mark. Really perfect, though, and it's kind of at that size where, it just allows the surfer, really high-performance bodyboarding. I mean, you can just do whatever you're capable of in these sort of conditions. You can really overpower the wave in a sense, whereas the last couple of days we've seen the waves really muscling the competitors. Today it's the other way around.
Exactly, and there has been a ton of tube time being taken advantage of today. Mike Stewart's long barrel, Eder Luciano had a nice long barrel as well. So barrels, big lip maneuvers, and face maneuvers are totally being had in these 4 to 6 foot conditions at middles.
That's
for
right.
For the Encanto Pro, Puerto Rico.
Absolutely, Manny. And we did see a really nice tube earlier from Rafael Rivera, the local guy.
Yes.
He got a really big barrel, but the scores were a little low on that one. And I actually went up to Chico, the head judge, and said, that seemed a little light. And he goes, no, man, there's guys that are getting barreled and doing flips and stuff off the end. So clearly just tube rides aren't enough today, not at this level. I mean, you're going to have to get in the barrel and roll out, or get in the barrel and get a big invert off the end section.
That's
but
right.
Definitely looking for multiple moves in these sort of conditions.
Well, I mean, you throw that in with the actual, there's a lot of variables. Even the size of the wave has to be considered. But at this level, tube time, long barrels is, you need more now.
Absolutely. Well, the IBA World Tour, of course, will head over to Azores. Is our next stop on the IBA World Tour for the 6-star GQS. And it's going to be very interesting. And then we're on to Fronton for the title, decide the title. One of those guys, of course, is Ryan Hardy.
Ryan Hardy is snipping at the tail of Jeff Hubbard. He is the closest contender to get this guy, Jeff Hubbard, who is currently leading the charge on the rankings for the 2011 World Tour.
All right, well, there he is, Jeff. He is currently leading the rankings right on his tail. Of course, Jeff, 35 from Pipeline. He's been in great form. These are the Group A riders, the guys that have the greatest chance. And that one there is Ryan Hardy. He's sitting in second. He's the guy that's got the closest striking distance.
Exactly, but these guys aren't too far behind, and they definitely have a chance if things fall into place. Guilherme Tamega, Amaury Laverhne from Reunion Island definitely has a shot at the title as well. Dave Winchester, if things happen in his favor, he can also possibly be a world champion. South African Mark McCarthy as well can pull it off. PLC, we'd love to see a PLC Jeff Hubbard showdown in round number 4, which could happen. Jared Houston, the other South African, back to the live action. What is going on here? A little crossing, possibly an interference. We will see what the judges have to say. Eder Luciano in the yellow jersey, dropping in.
Yeah, well, that was interesting, Manny. I just was watching the live version of that. Amaury Laverhne took off way down the line, got a little tube on the takeoff. Speaking of tubes, Gastao and Entrudo just got barreled as well off screen. And what happened was after Amaury came out of the tube, Eder Luciano, with first priority, just dropped in. So, I mean, these Brazilian guys are very contest savvy when it comes to using the priority system.
Wow.
And, yeah, as long as Amaury wasn't deemed to have affected Eder's line, then he should escape scot-free.
Wow, we're going to have to wait and see what the judges have to... Their eyes are focused 110% on what's going on in the water, so they're going to make sure the right call has been made. So, the leaderboard, the contenders, actually the World Tour rankings, the contenders, we saw a bunch of names. Group A and Group B are the ones that have the closest shot, but Ryan Hardy is the closest. He can still pull it off.
Yeah, this is going to be insane to watch the fourth round here. Of course, things played out pretty well for all three of the top front runners. For Jeff Hubbard, for Hardy, who's on screen at the moment. You can see Ryan just kind of composing himself. And, it's a sign of a true champion to perform under pressure. And I really must admit, as we get down towards this second last event on the tour this year, that for the first time, I'm really seeing these guys wearing the pressure. You know, yesterday, when I was speaking to Jeff, you could just see it in his face. There's the profile of Ryan Hardy. A little more relaxed in that shot there. Of course, we shot that one in Pipeline earlier in the year. But, you can really start to see, I mean, it's such a big thing to capture the world title. Not only just the credibility and to achieve your own personal goals, but a lot of these guys, of course, have, some incentives built in with their sponsors. And, I mean, if you win a world title, it could be worth, an extra 10 or 20 or 30,000 bucks, depending who you are. So, I mean, there is money riding on it, as well as all the fame and glory.
Well, Ryan Hardy, he is going to be in round number 4, and that'd be a nice birthday gift for Hardy to come out on top of round number 4 today, celebrating, I believe, I don't know how old, but we'll get the age of that. Ryan Hardy coming up. Eder Luciano dropping in and out of that wave. Not much there for Eder. And it looks like the judges did not put down a penalty for that last crossover, which is a good call.
Yeah, that's right. Amaury was aware that he didn't have priority. Eder Luciano, I mean, it's well within his rights to do that. He does have priority. You don't quite often see it too much when a guy's been riding away for a while and someone with priority drops in on them to try and get an interference.
But you know what? That's a strategy. It's a competition.
It's all part of the competition rules, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. And Eder's just very smart to use that to his advantage. Right now, though, it's Amaury Laverhne in the lead. He's got an 8.9 and an 8.0. Eder Luciano sitting in second, and Luciano looking for about an 8.81 to take the lead. Gastao and Entrudo needs a 6.11 to go second, and Trevor Kam looking for a 6.36. Look, Gastao and Trevor Kam needing sixes, still well within striking distance. As things not over by a long shot, as we see Gastao and Entrudo up and riding.
The Portuguese dropping in on this one, finding that speed line, trimming high on the wave, and he finds that inside section, but decides to go for a spin under the lip right there. And that's all she wrote for Gastao Entrudo. That was not a 6.11 wave.
Well,
We've seen Gastao Entrudo on a good run.
We have, mate, and I tell you what, he really picked up and and joined the likes of Hugo Pinheiro and Manuel Centeno as one of Portuguese's finest riders, and he always showed a lot of promise. I mean, he's only a young guy, still 23 years of age. He's from Mecca, of course. His local break in Portugal, came 17th at Reunion and currently sitting on 22nd. Really needs a good result in his last two events if Gastao is going to try and make the cut for next year.
All right, there's still one more event after this event, so a lot of ground to be picked up for the guys on that bottom list to advance on to the Grand Slam Series next year.
Well, there's our good luck charm, of course, Middles, the local dog here, who's become quite famous. And someone told me yesterday that they're going to start making T-shirts with a shot of Middles on them, because they didn't realise that he was so famous. But he just kind of cruises around. Everyone gives him a little pat before you go surfing, because apparently like I said, it's like a rabbit's foot, a big rabbit's foot, a good luck charm.
Awesome, and I'm sure Middles, the dog, is enjoying every single bit of it. But as you can see, he doesn't like the camera getting too close to Middles.
He likes his personal space.
Yeah, there he goes. He's going to go find a buddy to go hang out with who won't bother him as he's relaxing on his own beach. So we'll see Middles more later on in the competition, I'm sure, as he's getting the good luck pat from the riders.
All right, well, there's a little break in the action. Don't forget, folks, that on the IBA website, we've got some pretty cool merchandise happening. We've got the caps. We've got beanies now, which is pretty cool for you guys in Europe, where it's pretty cold at the moment. And, of course, the iPhone 4 covers, which are pretty sweet. So,
you know what? We lost a black cover. It went missing yesterday just after you left the commentator's booth. Would you happen to know?
I'll put out an SOS for that. Sure that I can track that down somewhere. But, yeah, look, they're pretty sweet. They're pretty tight, though. I couldn't get one off yesterday. I got stuck on my phone. But very nice little products. All available in the store. It's real simple. You go in there, you swipe your credit card. You pick what you want, and you put it in your shopping cart. And from there, what happens, I guess, is you get a knock on the door, and someone delivers it worldwide. So check it out. It's the IBA store. There's lots of cool stuff happening. As we said, there's beanies. There's the beanie. We've got the iPhone 4 cover. And there's a variety of caps and a bunch of other stuff as well. So get in there, folks, and hook it up. And don't forget, if you want to see some of the action that you've missed beforehand here at the Encanto World Series, you can do so at the IBA YouTube channel. Some pretty cool stuff going on there, youtube.com/IBA World Tour, and you'll be able to catch up on anything that you may have missed out on.
And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, not only will you be able to see the latest and greatest at your leisure, but you will be notified via email as soon as a new piece of video is uploaded. So, I mean, that alone is worth subscribing to, because you're going to be the first one to take a look at what has been uploaded.
And I'll tell you what, it's been real popular. Many we're actually pushing up towards our millionth view, probably in the next couple of weeks as we lead into Songton. So it's a real milestone. It goes to show that this sport is a sleeping giant of action sports. And some of the big companies around the world will sit up and take us seriously as we log in those massive numbers. Speaking of logging in, here goes Red.
Amaury Laverhne, your current world champion, coming around the section from Reunion Island. Little bumpy off the bottom turn, but is able to pull off a roll on that section, and we'll finish off this wave with a spin. He knows this is coming down to the end of the heat, 30 seconds remaining, so he's going to take this thing all the way in. So, little bumpy ride, but is able to pull off a roll for Amaury Laverhne. Trevor Kam up and riding.
Well, Trevor Kam sitting in fourth place, around about 20 seconds remaining, and Trev really needs that wave. In second spot, Eder Luciano. This is a better-looking wave for Eder. In fact, it does shut down a little quick as we go to 10 seconds left on the clock, and that's all she wrote, Manny Vargas. It looks like it's going to be Amaury Laverhne. Moves on through in first place, picks up to 6 points. 4 points goes to Eder Luciano. 3 points goes to Gastao Entrudo. And we're just waiting for last wave scores of Trevor Kam. But I'm pretty sure that he might have rounded out in fourth position on that one.
All right, Amaury coming in first place in this heat. And he will be joining Mitch Rollins and Jeff Hubbard in the leaderboard with 3 wins under their belt. 18 points total, maximum. Mitch Rollins, Jeff Hubbard, and Amaury on top of the leaderboard.